Welcome back. After an incredible All-Star Open that saw 6 drivers transfer in to this race that we're about to run right now, the All-Star race is ready to get underway. For 80 laps this time, the best of the best in the 1-Up Superstar Series, plus the defending series champions from the lower divisions and the 6 transfers, they'll all do battle for the ultimate prize, the top bragging rights to say that you were the best of the Superstar Series here this afternoon. And alongside me, just as it was a few moments ago, is James Ellison for the All-Star race. And this is going to be a lot of fun because it's twice as long as the Open, with a lot better cars in this race that are going to do battle for the ultimate prize. Like I said, there's a lot to look forward to in this one.
Absolutely, a lot to look forward to. And that includes seeing if our open transfers can have a shot at making something happen and mixing it up with these who are already locked in. This is going to be real interesting to see what happens between those who are locked in and those who just transferred.
Absolutely, it's going to be a thrill ride for all 26 drivers in this race, as we can now bring you the starting lineup, which was set by random draw earlier this week, with Zachary DeLello, the defending Nitro National Series champion. That's how he got eligibility for this race. He drew the pole position, and alongside him, Roberto Crown Jr. in second. Kev Shears, the defending truck champion. He starts third. Miles Mashburn and Justin Henley back in the Superstar Series for a one-off with Grigsby Motorsports rounds out the top 5, just ahead of defending series champion Devin Fair. But there's so much more to talk about than just the top 6. There's 20 other drivers in this field that think they can win it, but who's got the best shot, do you think?
Well, I'd say the ones anybody could, really. It's you would think the ones who have had the most success of recent would be the best bet, but there have been quite a few who have yet to visit victory lane, and all of them are at the bottom of the list right now, who or maybe even won last year, got ineligible from winning last year, and haven't won yet this year, who could really pull something off here.
Absolutely, there's 26 drivers that can win this race, and in 80 laps time, we'll find out which one it'll be. So with that being said, we've got all 26 drivers ready to take the green flag, and we're ready to bring you that action. This is the 1-Up All-Star race, and the green flag is coming at you in just a few moments, so stay tuned. This is going to be one you're not going to want to miss. Get ready for something special here in the All-Star race. DeLello and Crown lead us to the green flag, and we are underway for 80 laps at the All-Star race in Lebanon Valley. And DeLello leads us off into the first turn, but I wouldn't be surprised if the big dogs start ganging up on the little guy heading into turn 3 for the first time.
Well, they got another little guy in there in Cashier, but there are a lot of big dogs here that these two, he and DeLello, got to watch out for. So this is going to be real interesting to see how this plays out, even in the early going.
But it's DeLello that leads lap number 1 as they head into the dust cloud that is the back straightaway, as Shearer now dives to the inside of Roberto Crown Jr. to jump up into the second position, and it looks like he will do so, but I don't think he's done yet. This is why we let the defending champions in the lower series into the All-Star race, because look at what they can do if given this opportunity. Shearer to the lead on lap 3.
And that is just what he was looking forward to. And well, DeLello's still trying to hang on and fight there, but I'm pretty confident that Shearer is going to have it. And it looks like he's going to clear, maybe not quite, but okay, now he will.
Yeah, so Kev Shearer takes over the lead on lap number 3. Is he going to be able to pull away and dominate like we saw J.D. Martin do in the Open not too long ago? It's going to be a bigger challenge, because look at all these good cars we got back here. Roberto Crown Jr., Devin Fair, the defending Superstar champ, and Dylan Young, who got his first 2 wins of his career last season. He now dives to the inside of Ferris. Look at Sam Donato. He makes it 3 wide on Mashburn and Henley further back in the field.
That is a bold move by Donato, but he's no stranger. He and a lot of these other big dogs in the field are no strangers. This is. There he goes, continuing to fight with them right here.
Donato started fairly deep in the field here, but he's already made his way up now into the top 10, looking for a spot in the top 5 as Mashburn tries to get even further down on the 77. He's going to take the spot back. Look at how great this racing here is.
Yeah, already, and we're seeing a lot of good fighting here. a lot of different jumbling and mixing it up. Justin Henley, he started 5th with the random draw, but he's slowly losing spots, but he's not dropping like a rock, which he's got to be happy about that.
Remember, that team has an alliance with Fingai Saitomi, so that's probably what's keeping him here for the moment. He's now hanging on to the final spot in the top 10. But Kev Shearer is starting to pull out a big lead. It's up to half a second over DeLello in second spot. And Dylan Young, he's looking to try and get the second spot away within the next few laps, but he's got to be careful. Roberto Crown Jr. is looking for an opportunity to get by him going into turn 1.
Don't forget, looking, he's taking that opportunity and possibly bringing Mashburn with him as Miles trying to make some moves here. You got Fair, who's doing a crossover on him now.
Yeah, Devin Fair, he's been on a bit of a roll lately. Of course, he had the DNF at Hillside in the last points race, and that really hurt him. But before that, he won at Talladega to get his second win of the year, and he's already got 2 wins this year. He's looking for a third in the All-Star race. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. And here comes Crown to the inside of DeLello. This is for second spot as they drift up really high, but thankfully none of them hit that gate.
No, it looked like Mashburn just barely touched it if he did at all. He was really close if not, but he's still hanging in there. And, well, speaking of hanging in there, Shearer is just hanging on to that lead, and he does not want to let it go.
For those of you who question why we let the lower series champions into the All-Star race, this is why. They're running first and third through the first 12 laps, and they're putting on an incredible show. Of course, DeLello's full-time in the Superstar Series now, but Kev Shearer, this is only his second race of the year after the Daytona 500. He wants to prove that he's got a future in this series, and so far he is doing that very nicely, with a nearly seconds lead over Roberto Crown Jr. in the runners-up spot, as it looks like we got a battle on our hands between the team owner, Devin Fair, and the team driver, Zachary DeLello.
Yeah, and, well, DeLello's starting to fade a little bit. He's already got passed by Crown, now about to get passed by Fair, and potentially Young as well. As A.J. Jones back there, Daytona 500 champion, drifted up just a little bit, but Fair, like you said, it wouldn't be a surprise to see him get holding that All-Star trophy tonight.
But surprisingly, he has not yet won the All-Star race in our 3 years of holding the event. First, it was Jeffrey Fingai, who won it the 1 year we ran at Nazareth. Then, when we moved to this track, it was Ryan Caggiano who won it as the National Series champion transfer. And last year, of course, Jared Polanski got his All-Star win in his final season of competition. But now, with only Fingai and Caggiano here to defend their crowns, we're going to see if, hopefully, we might even get a first-time winner of the All-Star race.
And it's looking pretty good for that, really. No matter if it's Shearer or Fair or someone else, but right now, Fair's got a lot of work to do to catch the defending truck champ.
As Dylan Young bounces off the wall off of 4, he just loses a spot to DeLello, and he might even lose another one. Look at Julio Caesar dive down to the inside. He passed both Young and DeLello. DeLello surges back on the top, but Julio Caesar, the Auto Club winner, he is on a mission here today.
He is carrying the spa banner with Lane Sanders somewhere back in the back of the field. As we look back toward the back of the top 10 again, they keep shuffling around quite a bit, and it's been pretty good racing so far, I'd have to say.
Here is Ryan Caggiano, the 2022 All-Star Race winner. He is battling currently with Ben McDonald over the 9th position on track. And behind them, we look a little further behind, you see Jeffrey Fingai and Miles Mashburn. J.D. Martin, now, he won the Open a few moments ago, and now he's making his way to the front, along with Lane Sanders, who finished second in that race. Justin Henley trying to fight back on Lane off of 4 as Mashburn tags the wall.
Yeah, right as one of his 2 drivers that had to transfer in through the Open is catching up to him. It's a good thing. It's a good thing he was able to keep from bouncing off into the 66, because that'd have been disastrous for that team.
Looking a little further back, you see Braden Varga running a one-off race for Crossroads Racing, a late entry into the event. He's holding his own fairly well ahead of Joshua Michaels and Stanley Andrews bringing up the rear. He was the fan vote winner. But back at the front of the field, the lead is starting to close up because Devin Fair has chopped off nearly half of Kev Shearer's deficit.
Yeah, Kev better watch out, because if he's not careful, if he gets too defensive, Fair will probably just root him out of the way, which I don't think he would have a problem with that. He wouldn't care about Shearer being a Truck Series champion. He wants that All-Star trophy.
And look at Julio Caesar in the 0-0 trying to get by Dylan Young. He does. Looking a little further back now. You see Zayden Davidson in that 4. He passed his champion teammate Christian Vargas to move up. Remember, Davidson transferred from the Open as well. But meanwhile, their other teammate, Devin Fair, is putting some real pressure on our longtime race leader, Kev Shearer.
Yeah, long time. Probably about to be no more at the rate Fair's been trying to close. But right now, Kev's holding his own. And I'd have to say, he's probably happy about that, even as he keeps an eye on that mirror.
Yeah, Shearer has led the most laps so far. He has led 22 laps in this race so far. Zachary DeLella led the first 2, but he has since fallen back to about 6th or 7th in the field. But Devin Fair, he's taken out the Toyota mantle, and he is chasing after the Honda of Kev Shearer, who is formerly a member of the Toyota camp. Remember last year, he won that truck championship with Kings Motorsports in their farewell season. But Fair is looking to give Shearer a crash course introduction into the Superstar Series.
Yeah, he's looking to do that. And, talking about Shearer, what a season he had last year. And he well deserved that truck championship. And I will say, I will admit, before the season began, I tried to sign him, but this team he's at now, I think he's at a better spot for competition, and he is proving it with this run, trying to hold off Fair.
Yeah, JHM Racing picked up Kev Shearer. He's already rewarded them with a win at Gateway in the Nitro National Series, and he's holding down a top 10 spot in the points currently for the JHM team in the Nitro National Series. But we're focused right now on this All-Star race, which Kev Shearer has led since lap 3, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to hold off Devin Fair, because this 51 is rapid.
Rapid and trying to get clear of everybody who could hold him back from getting that trophy and the big check that comes with it. I can't say enough about Devin Fair's determination and his desire to win. He gets disappointed. There were points last year where he got disappointed with a top 5 finish because he wanted wins, and when he got the wins, he was extremely happy, and I imagine he wouldn't be any happier outside of his championship win than he would be if he could hoist the trophy today.
And he's got the gap down to about 0.3 of a second on Kev Shearer, and it's going to get even closer this lap. But if these two keep battling for very much longer, Julio Caesar has also been closing in on these two. And wouldn't it be something for the rookie to dash past both these two to get Swin in his first All-Star appearance?
That would certainly be something, and I know his teammate and team owner would be really happy to see that. Lane would be happy to see it, even if he hasn't broken the top 10 yet after transferring in. But it looks like Fair is actually backing off a little bit. Like maybe he's trying to save some of the good for later to make a true run at him.
Because unlike the Open, where this would have been 8 laps to go, we still got 48 laps to go in this All-Star race. So there's plenty of time to make moves possible in this event. But you're right, Devin Fair might be just cooling his tires off, trying to find some moisture on the racetrack, trying to find a little bit of an advantage to help him pass this 24, which has led since the start of lap 3.
And I think Kev's happy to see him back off a little bit, but he's probably being reminded that backing off is not always a good sign. That could just mean, like we've just talked about, that the 51's cooling his tires a little bit, and he's starting to apply the pressure again.
Yeah, definitely. Devin is closing once more, but don't forget, Julio Caesar is closing in on both of them. So if Devin wants to make this move happen, he's going to have to make it very soon, because Julio is only a second behind the race leader now.
Yeah, and he is closing faster than some people would have expected, but I bet he's got to be like someone who's been without food for a whole day, seeing food in front of them, just chomping at the bit to go ahead and eat it, but being told they have to wait just a little bit longer.
And I don't think he wants to wait very much longer, because Julio Cesar, he sees the 2 leaders in front of him, and now he's got the gap down to under a second, so this could be a 3-car battle for the lead before very long. But now he loses that advantage. It's down to 1.1 now between him and Kev Shearer, with Devin Fair stuck in the middle. As we enter lap 38, about to complete lap 38, the laps go by so quickly here, as Fair runs a bit higher out of turn 4. Could he be trying to generate some momentum heading off into turn 1?
Oh, and he did. He chucked a little bit off there again as he now closes in on the 24 once again. And now, if these two get to battling, maybe Caesar's gap, which has shrunk back down just a tiny bit, will decrease even greater, but we'll have to see.
As Shearer and Fair dive it off in the turn 1. Here comes Fair with a big move down the inside. This is what he's been waiting for all this time. And as we take the halfway lap this time, we're probably going to have a new leader at the end of it, because Devin Fair off of turn 4. Shearer goes a little high, and Fair will lead at the line as we take halfway.
Yeah, Shearer's not going away, just like DeLello didn't go away immediately when Shearer went for the lead. But now Fair's going to clear, and he's going to try to set sail, or is Kev going to pull the crossover? He's at least making an attempt at it.
I'm not surprised by this, not one bit, because Kev Shearer is a tenacious driver, and he wants to lead as many laps as he possibly can, even if there's no points on the line for him. But he does take the lead back from Devin Fair as they barrel it off into turn 3. So these two continue to battle side by side. If they keep doing that, though, that's going to allow Caesar to close back in, but I think Fair's got the measure of Kev for the moment, but Kev's going to make another run at it again.
Yeah, we're looking at the battle of the champions of 2 different series right here. They may be in Superstar next gen cars, but they are champions of 2 different series, and they are proving why they won their respective titles.
And they are putting on a fantastic show for these fans who flock to this local dirt track to see the Superstar drivers do battle with the champions of the lower series, and we are being treated to an absolute thrill ride here at the All-Star Race. We're closing in on 35 laps to go now. But for Devin Fair, his goal now, keep that 24 behind him and just grow that lead, because Julio Cesar's challenge is starting to fizzle a little bit.
Yeah, he put a lot of effort into it, and it hasn't been able to really come together like he wanted. But right now, as we go through the dust yet again, for the umpteenth time, Fair is pulling away, but he's got to watch out, because as he starts to pull away, there's a good chance with the longer length, the double length of this race compared to the Open, that traffic could be a factor.
Oh, it absolutely will. There's no doubt in my mind, because there's Stanley Andrews going into turn 1, and there is Devin Fair crossing the start-finish line. So Andrews will be in the way of the leaders before very long in this race, as it looks like, we can report our first retiree from the race, and it's one of our Open transfers. Zayden Davidson had clawed his way all the way up to from 23rd starting spot to the top 10 before his engine let go midway through the race. A tough break for Zayden Davidson, but he will regroup and go chase points once again out at Denver next week.
Yeah, that's real unfortunate. Like I said, it didn't really pay anything to finish anything behind first here, except for the satisfaction that you put your all into it, like we've seen Fair do, like we've seen Shearer do, and like I've seen Caesar give an effort into, as the gap between first and second has grown to over a second now. But Zayden will have an opportunity at Denver, like you said, and I'm actually really looking forward to that one, but we still got a little bit of racing left to do here.
And that was the first battle on the racetrack between Roberto Crown Jr. and Jeffrey Finguy, a pair of powerful Fords, as Martin and Sanders, they were the stars of the Open earlier today, and now they're doing battle for the 11th position in the All-Star race, both trying to jump Zachary DeLello and get into the top 10. Ryan Caggiano holds 12th position ahead of Miles Mashburn, but look at this battle between Sanders and Martin. Sanders doing what he couldn't do in the Open, and that's get past J.D. Martin for position.
Yeah, but JD's like, you think so? He took a peek, but looks like that 87 is just a little bit better right there at this point.
Here's Justin Henley battling Jake McMillan, I should say. That is for, I believe, 13th, 14th, 15th position. they're fighting for currently. And for Justin Henley and this tiny little team, that's a fantastic run. Even if they're not going to win this All-Star race, even if they're not going to get a top 10 run, the fact that they're even here is a testament to how far this team has come.
Oh, absolutely. And Crossroads Racing's loss when Henley took a little hiatus is that little 60 teams gain, as they're showing that with the right driver they can do something. And yeah, I gotta give him props for the effort here.
Braden Varga doing his absolute best for Crossroads Racing in 24th spot. Him also being in this race is just a show of how far Crossroads has come in their superstar journey so far. He's ahead of Stanley Andrews by about 3 seconds, but Devin Fair, he has led since about lap 42, and now he's coming up to put the fan vote winner Stanley Andrews a lap down.
If I could talk about Braden Varga for just a minute while we watch Fair catch up to Andrews here. Like you said like I said before, that deal came together pretty quickly and pretty late. It was a deal between Team Duke and Crossroads to give him a chance because he was eligible and he didn't have a ride, and the three was just sitting there waiting for my next start or next attempt in the Superstar Series. So we came up with a deal and got his sponsors on the car, and now we're here. And while he's not putting himself in position to win this thing, he's at least showing that he belongs.
Looking a little further back, you see AJ Jones, the Daytona 500 winner, having a very strong run inside the top 5. He is the only Team Duke car that has qualified for the All-Star race, and he's doing a very good job hanging in there in 5th position ahead of Dylan Young, Ben McDonald, Jeffrey Finguy, Roberto Crone Jr., Zachary Dolello completing the top 10. But as we approach 20 laps to go now, I have a feeling that this 41 is not going to be ahead of the 51 for much longer, because Devin is gaining at a couple of tenths a lap.
Couple tenths a lap, and you can definitely see that margin now, and we can watch it shrink now as he is there, not right on his bumper, but he is still there. And I think Stanley will just have to do the smart thing and move out of the way, or Fair may have to find the easy line around with it, whichever way works best.
We're coming to 20 to go this time, and Devin Fair, his lead is at 1.5 seconds now over Kev Shearer. It's almost 1.7 now. But Devin's done a fantastic job in his relatively short career in the Superstar Series. Remember, he didn't start out in this 51 car for Revolution Racing. He started in his own team car. That 08 that Dolello's driving now, that was his car for a while. But he got the call up to Revolution Racing when Stephen Hunter retired mid-season in 2022, and he has proven he deserved that call up and then some. He's won 6 races in his time in that 51 machine, and he's on pace now to get an All-Star win to add to that tally.
And that, like we talked about, and it's going to sound like a broken record at this point, but he just wants to hoist that trophy, and as soon as he got clear of Shearer, he set sail, and even the 41 staying ahead of him and not moving over for him isn't really deterring him at the moment.
Well, he's gonna have to get around this 41 soon, because look at the gap between he and Kev Shearer. It's been going down a little bit. He was down to 1.2 seconds a moment ago, and I think it still is. Yeah, 1.2 seconds. So he's lost half a second of his lead since he's been stuck behind this 41. He's got to make a move soon, or else Kev Shearer will close right back up to his bumper.
And it looks like he's starting to make that move. We're trying, but and Stanley's still holding on. Okay, now he's starting to. Now Fair's made a move on him, but the gap is now just barely under a second. And if Andrews keeps fighting, Fair might be in trouble here.
Yeah, he probably isn't even seeing the blue flags being shown at him through all the dust that's being kicked up here at Lebanon Valley. But eventually he finally gives way to Devin Fair, and the 51 can set back off in his bid for All-Star victory, which is now just 14 laps away from becoming a reality.
14 laps and a whole second and 2/10 between him and the 24. Sorry, I lost my speech for a minute there. But I don't think Fair's got to worry too much, because even if Kev can rally back here, he's got to get by Andrews just like he did.
Yeah, and although I think Andrews might be a little more lenient to Kev Shearer because that's not a fight to stay on the lead lap like the 51 was, as Braden Vargas the next one up for Devin Fair to put a lap down, but I don't know if he's going to get there in time because we only now have 12 laps to go, and at the rate he's going, he might close up to the back of the 3. I don't know if he's got enough time to pass him now.
Yeah, he's getting there. I mean, like I already said, Varga's just happy to be able to be in this race, and maybe next time he's eligible, he'll be in competition. But he's doing a good job even for where he's at. But now he's got to be worried about that 51. As you know, Fair's probably going to get to him, but whether he'll get by him or not, that's up for debate at the moment.
As we now come to 10 laps to go in the All-Star race, Devin Fair has led comfortably for the last 30 laps or so, and like I said at the top of the show, it wouldn't have surprised me if Devin Fair won this race considering the run of finishes he's on currently. But remember, flashback to last year in the All-Star race for Devin Fair. He was involved in that horrible crash off of Turn 4 with Nick Ortiz and in midway through last year's All-Star race. So he's putting those gremlins behind him now because he's only 8 laps away now from an All-Star victory.
8 laps and 1.5 seconds separation back to second, and with a lap car in between. I think he can just cruise right now and not worry about whether or not he's going to get by Varga here.
It'd be nice if he got past the 3 car, but I don't think it's necessary anymore. Because Fair runs a bit high out of Turn 4. That could cost him a little bit of time. But you were right earlier. Kev Shearer still has to get past Stanley Andrews, and that is proving to be easier said than done for the 24 JHM Racing Honda. So, with 7 laps to go, coming to 6, looks as though it's going to be Devin Fair's race to lose at this point.
Yeah, and Andrews isn't exactly moving over as easily as we were expecting, but he does the same thing he did to Fair and cuts Shearer off.
But hey, that just proves that there's enough speed in that 41 car to hold off good cars like the 51 and the 24. I hope he gets to make a points race this season because I want to see what he can do in that. But it looks like Andrews bounces off the wall and Shearer does get past. Now it's Julio Caesar's turn to try and find a way past.
Yeah, and Shearer chopped a few tenths of a second off from the lead, but I think that's partially because of the 3 being in the 51's way here.
But now we only have 4 laps to go, and the advantage is down to 1.1 seconds. But I don't think Shearer is going to have enough time, especially considering that Fair is just now making his way onto the inside of Braden Varga in the 3. Coming to 3 laps to go, I don't think Shearer's got enough time to catch at this point.
It's highly unlikely, and it's definitely less likely now because he just lost another that tenth he gained 2 laps ago.
And now he's got the lap car, Varga, to deal with, too. It's become the 2 laps to go.
Yeah, he got rid of 1 lap car, but now there's a second one. So, yeah, pending something terrible. Like I said about JD Martin with the Open, pending something terrible, this is definitely Devin Fair's day.
And Jeff Bolton's the next one up to be lapped, but I don't think he's going to get there quite in time. The white flag is going to come out for Devin Fair. 1 lap to go at the Valley of Speed in the All-Star race. Devin Fair put on an incredible performance last year to win his first series championship. And now, as he enters Turn 3 for the final time, he's going to enter the history books once again as our 4th different winner of the one-up All-Star race. It's Devin Fair and Revolution Racing getting the job done.
And I had a feeling that as soon as he got by the 24 and started taking off, that it was over back then. But like we always say, don't count it over until the checkered flag flies. And well, I think it's safe to say, looking in hindsight, I would have been right to call it over back then. But yeah, so congratulations to Fair. congratulations to Kev Shear on a good run. Proves that he can be a force to be reckoned with whenever his call up to the Superstar Series comes.
Yep, and Julio Caesar, too, has a solid run, coming home third in his first All-Star race. Sam Denoto and A.J. Jones complete the top 5. Ben McDonald 6th, Dylan Young 7th ahead of his teammate Finn Guy, Roberto Crown Jr. 9th, and there's Lane Sanders. He's the highest finishing Open transfer, who made his way up to 10th position at the very end. But that is going to do it for our All-Star Weekend, and what an incredible pair of races this has been. For everybody here in the One Up community, we thank you for tuning in for this All-Star race. It's a lot of fun to run, and it's a lot of fun to compete in, I'm sure, for these drivers. But next week, we're going to go back to the regular grind of points racing, and that starts up at Denver Motorsports Park, where a certain James Ellison, I believe, will be attempting his third start of the season in the Superstar Series. So, looking forward to seeing how that goes for Crossroads Racing and for the rest of the field once we head out to Colorado. But from James Ellison and from myself as well, we say goodbye from the Lebanon Valley Speedway and from All-Star Weekend. Congrats to Devin Fair on a fantastic All-Star victory, and Kev Shear put on a fantastic run as well to second place. He's got a future in this series. Whether it happens next year or not, he's gonna get here one of these days.